Have you ever felt like your brain is mush? Like you can't focus, you're constantly tired, and even simple tasks feel overwhelming? You're not alone. Many of us are unknowingly experiencing what some call brain drain, a feeling of mental fog and exhaustion, often linked to our increasingly digital lives, especially our relationship with social media. To be clear, this is not a medical diagnosis. Rather, it is a way of describing a collection of symptoms that many people experience. In our hyper-connected world, it is like that feeling you get after spending hours scrolling through social media. Your brain feels like it is on overload, and you just cannot focus on anything else. If this sounds familiar, you have come to the right place. In this conversation, we are going to unpack this phenomenon, understand its causes, and most importantly, explore practical ways to reclaim your mental clarity and well-being. Think about the last time you tried to focus on a challenging task. Did your mind wander to that funny video you saw online? Or did you feel an irresistible urge to check your notifications just in case you missed something important? This constant tug-of-war for our attention is at the heart of the issue. Social media platforms are designed to be engaging, even addictive. Every like, comment, and share triggers a tiny release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward in your brain. It's the same chemical that's released when you eat delicious food or win a game, and it feels good. This is where it gets tricky. This constant stream of dopamine from social media can create a vicious cycle. You get a hit, you feel good, so you keep scrolling. Then you need more and more stimulation to get that same feeling. It's like building up a tolerance. And before you know it, you're spending hours a day mindlessly scrolling, chasing that fleeting sense of satisfaction. The issue is that this constant pursuit of instant gratification comes at a cost. We are in a way rewiring our brains to crave these instant rewards, making it harder to focus on tasks that require sustained attention and delayed gratification. That's why it is so hard to put our phone down sometimes. The instant gratification you get from social media is so easy to obtain that you just cannot stop chasing it. Now let's talk about sleep, or the lack thereof. How often do you find yourself scrolling through your phone in bed long after you should be asleep? The blue light emitted from our screens suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. This can lead to insomnia and poor sleep quality, further exacerbating the effects of brain drain. And we all know how awful we feel after a bad night's sleep, right? Tired, irritable, unable to concentrate. It is a recipe for disaster. It's a vicious cycle. You scroll because you can't sleep, and you can't sleep because you scroll. It is not just about sleep, however. Studies have shown a correlation between excessive social media use and a decline in cognitive function, including memory, attention span, and even problem-solving abilities. A study published in the journal Computers in Human Behavior found that participants who spent more time on social media performed worse on tasks requiring sustained attention. Another study in the journal Psychological Science linked heavy social media use to a decrease in working memory capacity. So what are the telltale signs that you might be experiencing this so-called brain drain? Well, one of the most common symptoms is difficulty concentrating. You might find yourself reading the same sentence over and over again, or your mind constantly wandering during conversations or work tasks. Another red flag is increased irritability and impatience. Little things that used to not bother you suddenly become major annoyances. You might also experience persistent feelings of boredom and a lack of motivation, even for activities you used to enjoy. It is like nothing seems interesting or stimulating enough anymore, except maybe that next dopamine hit from your phone. And then there's the physical fatigue. Even if you are not physically exerting yourself, you might feel constantly tired and drained of energy. This can be linked to both sleep deprivation and the mental fatigue associated with constant digital stimulation. This constant state of hyperstimulation can leave us feeling exhausted, even when we haven't done anything physically demanding. We are constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and updates, and our brains are working overtime to process it all. It is like trying to drink from a fire hose. Eventually, you are going to get overwhelmed. If any of this resonates with you, please do not panic. You are not doomed to a life of mental fog and digital dependence. There are ways to break free from this cycle and reclaim your focus and well-being. The key is becoming more mindful of your digital habits and making conscious choices about how you interact with technology. We are not advocating for a complete digital detox, which, let us be honest, is unrealistic for most of us in today's world. Instead, we are talking about finding a healthy balance, a way to use technology that enhances rather than detracts from our lives. We are talking about taking control of your digital life and your free time. One of the first steps is to become more aware of your social media consumption. How much time do you actually spend scrolling each day? When do you find yourself reaching for your phone? What are your triggers? There are apps and tools that can help you track your usage and identify patterns. You might be surprised by what you discover. Once you have a clearer picture of your habits, you can start setting realistic goals for reducing your screen time. Maybe it's setting aside specific times of the day for checking social media, or designating certain areas of your home as phone-free zones, like your bedroom. Now, let's talk about something called mindful scrolling. This involves paying attention to your thoughts and feelings while you're using social media. Are you genuinely enjoying the content you're consuming, or are you just scrolling out of habit or boredom? Ask yourself, is this adding value to my life, or is it just a distraction? If it's the latter, it might be time to put the phone down and engage in a more fulfilling activity. It is about being present and intentional with your online interactions, rather than passively consuming whatever comes your way. It is like choosing to savor a delicious meal instead of mindlessly snacking on junk food. Another powerful technique is something called non-sleep deep rest, or NSDR. It's a practice often guided by audio that helps you achieve a state of deep relaxation without actually falling asleep. It's like a power nap for your brain. NSDR protocols, which are freely available online, can help reduce stress, improve focus, and even enhance learning. Yoga Nidra is a similar practice that can also be incredibly beneficial. It is a guided meditation that promotes deep relaxation and mental clarity. You can find tons of free Yoga Nidra sessions online with varying lengths and focuses. It is a truly wonderful feeling and leaves you feeling very rested and clear-headed. But what about those moments of boredom, those gaps in your day when you'd normally reach for your phone? Instead of filling every spare moment with digital stimulation, try embracing boredom. Yes, you read that right. Boredom can actually be a good thing. It can be a catalyst for creativity, self-reflection, and problem-solving. When you are not constantly bombarded with external stimuli, your mind has a chance to wander, to make connections, and to come up with new ideas. It's in those quiet moments that you might stumble upon a new hobby, solve a problem that's been nagging you, or simply gain a deeper understanding of yourself. Think of it like this. Boredom is like a blank canvas, and your mind is the artist. What will you create? Instead of reaching for your phone, try engaging in activities that promote what we call active rest. This could be anything from reading a book, going for a walk in nature, listening to music, or pursuing a creative hobby. The key is to choose activities that engage your mind and body in a way that feels restorative and rejuvenating. It is about choosing activities that nourish your soul rather than deplete your energy. It's about doing something you enjoy and that makes you feel good. It is also crucial to understand the impact of social comparison on our mental well-being. Social media often presents a curated, idealized version of reality, where everyone seems to be living their best lives. It is easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others and feeling inadequate as a result. Remember, what you see online is just a highlight reel, not the full story. Everyone has their own struggles and insecurities, even if they don't show them on social media. It's important to focus on your own journey and celebrate your own accomplishments, rather than getting caught up in the comparison game. Another important aspect of reclaiming your focus is cultivating the ability to do what some call deep work. This refers to the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It is about creating periods of uninterrupted concentration, where you can fully immerse yourself in your work and achieve a state of flow. In today's world of constant distractions, deep work is becoming an increasingly valuable skill. To cultivate it, try eliminating distractions as much as possible. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and find a quiet space where you can work without interruption. Start with short bursts of focused work, say 25 minutes, and gradually increase the duration as you build your deep work muscle. Think of it this way. Your attention is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. By practicing mindful scrolling, engaging in NSDR or Yoga Nidra, embracing boredom and cultivating deep work, you are essentially training your attention muscle. You are learning to resist distractions, to focus on what truly matters, and to engage with the world in a more intentional and meaningful way. You are taking back control of your attention span. So, is social media inherently evil? Absolutely not. It can be a great tool for connecting with loved ones, staying informed, and even learning new things. The problem arises when our use becomes excessive, mindless, and detrimental to our well-being. It is about finding that sweet spot, that balance where technology serves us rather than enslaves us. It is about being mindful of how we use our devices and how they make us feel. This journey to reclaim your focus and well-being is not about perfection, it is about progress. It's about making small, sustainable changes that, over time, will have a profound impact on your life. It's about being kind to yourself, acknowledging your slip-ups, and getting back on track when you veer off course. It is a personal journey, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to experiment, to find what resonates with you, and to create a set of practices that support your mental and emotional well-being. Ultimately, it is about reclaiming your agency, your ability to choose how you spend your time and attention. It is about breaking free from the clutches of digital dependence and rediscovering the joy of being fully present in your life. It is about creating a life where technology is a tool that empowers you rather than a force that controls you. And trust me, the rewards are worth it. A clearer mind, a greater sense of peace, a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. These are just some of the benefits that await you on this path. A path towards a more focused, fulfilling, and truly connected life. Remember, your mind is your most valuable asset. It is time to treat it with the care and respect it deserves.